Ugh. Hello. I'm back. Sorry for the loud noises. Alright, so... hello. So I am playing this, I am playing the Pagemaster, and I am playing this on a Super Nintendo. But... this is... haha... oh, what is the face? The face is Barbie is always watching you. That is the face that that Barbie makes when you game over in Barbie for the NES, and it's my favorite GIF of all time. So this is the Pagemaster for the Game Boy, not for the Super Nintendo. So I'm playing it on a Super Nintendo, and I wanted to show off the amazing Super Nintendo, the Super Game Boy border, because it's very, very good. This game is full of RNG, so I have a 30-minute estimate. My PB is 2109. The world record is a 1859. So this can be anywhere between any of those. I could world record on this run. I could go over estimate. So it's very, very good. It's a very good game. You guys will also learn a lot about the actual. You guys will learn a lot about the actual movie. I watched the movie a few months ago in preparation for a different marathon run. So I'm gonna reset here so we can get ready. So I will definitely. I don't, Sharif or Sharfers, I don't care, you can call me either one. Sharif is my real name, and I had Sharif in my old Twitch username, so I'm fine with people calling me Sharif or Sharfers. Not a problem. Absolutely not a problem. Oh, hey, Amen Anthem. He's, the world record holder for this game is actually in chat, so ask them any questions that you have about this game, because I may have routed the game, but they have the world record, so they're actually good at the game, and I'm not. So yeah, thanks for the good luck, y'all. I'm gonna get started here real fast. The SNES version is a lot. You can call me Bob as well. That's totally fine. Am I holding the wrong controller? Is this controller just not work anymore? Oh yeah, okay. I am having some very distressing controller issues. This one I should be able to fix very quickly here, fortunately. Alright, not a problem. So we're on the very we're on the third string controller here, so it's all good. Yeah, I practiced this enough times that my SNES controllers all quit. Well, have a good night, Glacier. Yeah, so two of my controllers have gone dead, so I'm on my third string controller right now. So let's get started right now. My marathon luck, oh no, this is not gonna go well. Alright, so this is for the Game Boy. This came out in 1994 along with the Super Nintendo game in the movie itself. So this is a 1994 original Game Boy game, which explains the Super Game Boy border and explains the really good animations. This game has really good animations. The levels are super, oh wow, that's a really bad way to start. I'm gonna reset. Hey y'all, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's fine. I haven't had that happen in a very long time. It's fine. Don't worry about that. I did this for Dragon's Lair. It's totally fine. Thanks, NPC. Cool. So... Alright, hey everybody. This is... we'll reset too. This is the Pagemaster. This is the Pagemaster for the Game Boy. This is the first time you guys are seeing it. It's a movie tie-in. Yeah, this is a Super Game Boy 2. Yeah, Super Game Boy 2 is the better Super Game Boy for speedrunning because it has accurate frame rate. Hey y'all! So I'm just gonna get started and I'll explain everything about the game as we go. We'll have a lot of time because there are a lot of auto-scrollers in this game. Alright, and we're getting started. Cool. So this is the Pagemaster for the Game Boy. This came out in 1994 along with the Super Nintendo game and the movie itself. So yeah, this is a very late era Super Nintendo Game Boy game, which explains why it looks so good. It's not a good game. I hate it. but it definitely looks good. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're fine. I'm gonna blame the controller for all of this. Alright, so level 1's done. I skipped the whole level. How many times has Amen Anthem done that? That's a good question. Oh. Start, select, exit stages. Control's real bad. Yeah, so the theme of the any % run of this game is don't do what the game asks you to do at all. Right? So we're not going to do what the game asks us, and instead we're just going to skip to the end of levels if it's not an auto-scroller. So all of these levels are actually gigantic, but we don't care about any of it. So we just skip the whole thing. Basically, when it's in our hands, we basically skip everything. Yeah, I really like a lot of things about this game. My big issue with the game is the gameplay. Yeah, I've run this game. So this is the first of how many? 4 auto-scrolling levels. We play 12 stages in this game. Is that right? 3 plus 4 plus 5. Let's do this quick math. 14 stages. 3 plus 4 plus 5. 12 stages. We had it right. Yeah. So the problem with world record runs is you have to do a lot of things really well, and I do none of them well, and so you have to reset a lot. The auto-scrollers are very, very slow and very long. So of the 12 stages you do, 4 of them are auto-scrollers. The world record's just under 19 minutes, and 13 minutes of that is auto-scrollering. So y'all better get comfy, because it's gonna be a lot of auto-scrollers. So many. This is a Super Game Boy 2. So many auto-scrollers. Let me explain a little bit about the mechanics in the game. So we have the stuff over the top of the screen. So we have the sword. So the sword is a level 2 upgrade. We have two levels of upgrade in this game. So the first one you saw me get was the boot. The boot does 2 things. It gives you a hit point, and it also makes you jump extra high, super extra high, and it lets you skip a bunch of sections in levels. And then the level, there are 5 different level 2? Yeah, I have no nostalgia for this game either. The way I came across this game is I was at AGDQ, this past AGDQ in 2019, and I was practicing for my Dragon's Lair run at AGDQ. You guys didn't get to see the best animation in the whole game there. And somebody, I was practicing, and then somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, you look like you like Game Boy games with really weird physics," because, you know, I was running a Game Boy game with really weird physics, and so they suggested the Pagemaster to me, and then I game overed on the first stage like 7 times. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm good. That sounds great. And so I routed the game, and I grew to absolutely hate it. I do love routing games, which is why I saw it through. But the game is just not fun to play. Normally, I would take a death on this stage to avoid the bonus level, but I am going to get as many extra lives as possible to avoid disaster, which is the disaster would be a game over. So we're gonna go ahead and get all the extra lives from all the bonus levels instead. Yeah, you got it, Amen. Thanks for figuring out. Okay, I have to give Amen Anthem some credit. They found they found one of the big important mechanics in the game that was making the game way hard for me, and that's if. So you have the keys and the books in that top level. If you get 30 keys, which is the collectible changes depending on what book you're in. Depending on what book you're in, but basically if you get 30 of those collectibles, it gives you a book. And books are actually really, really useful. What they do is if you hit select, it consumes a book, but also kills every enemy on screen. This becomes very useful later in the game. when the auto-scrollers become entirely unfair and like spawn enemies off screen and stuff, and they just absolutely blast you in the face. So you can just hit, so the way this works, the way the game works is enemy spawns are fixed, but their behavior is entirely random. Oops, I've done the wrong thing. That's fine though. And so you know when enemies are coming, but you have no idea what they're gonna do. And so so basically, when you know that a really trolly spawn is going to come, all you got to do is hit select, and that trolly spawn goes away. It's also useful for killing a specific type of enemy. There's one type of enemy that's not a one-hit kill. He's a 4-hit kill, and I don't have time to hit anything 4 times. So this is normally a thing we would skip. We would just die once and skip the bonus. So the bonus stage happens when you don't die on a level. So that's one of the 3 levels completed. The 3 worlds are basically corresponding to the 3 books in the movie that you meet, your little book friends. You can see them on this amazing Super Game Boy border. We're just going to skip the first level in Adventure World because they don't make us play it, so we won't. And so that was Horror, which is the middle guy. And now we're doing Adventure, which is the bottom one. Gonna grab that book, can be useful for later. Don't die. Don't die. Whoopsie daisy, that's not good. I might die here. Yep, that's fine. Don't worry about that, guys. So, yeah. Oop. This is the level you want to die on in the run anyway. So, because you have to die once per level, once per world in order to... Okay, so the good news is I did not get hit this time. This person drops sword, which is useful for later. And now we just skip the rest of the level. So that's what happens when you lose an upgrade, is you don't get to skip the whole level. So that was level 1. Don't die. That's fine. I have lots of lives. I have like 9 or 10 lives, and that's plenty. This is the second of 3 levels in the Adventure World. What else did I not? I think I explained everything. Oh yes, the library cards. That's the third thing that you're seeing here. That's the last thing on the top part of the level. I did this the slow way. It's fine. Uh-oh. I really don't like this controller. Alright. Library cards, that's actually the way to beat the game, to get the good ending in the game. So there are 3 library cards in each world, and so if you collect all 9 library cards, you get the good ending. We don't collect any of the library cards because they're all super out of the way. Like, all of them are super out of the way. So we just don't bother. That book really had it out for me. This level is horrendous. Alright. Alright, so this is the third of the 3 levels in Adventureland, and yes, it is the auto-scroller. So let's talk about the movie. Oh, that person is very annoying. How is this a SNES game? It is a Super Game Boy game. It is not a SNES game. It may be marked as a SNES game because I'm using a SNES layout and I'm using a Super Game Boy. So this is the Game Boy Pagemaster. Yeah. So the movie is nothing. It's nothing. I watched it as an adult. I never watched it as a kid. If I did, I have no recollection of it. I have no nostalgia for this game. Okay, this is the best. There's a lot of animations in this game. I will give that. Richard here has a lot of animations, but this is the best animation. It's a meh. But if he's moving, wow. But he's but yeah. So the movie is kind of nothing. Like, it's like the most like easily digestible, like nothing 70-minute movie I've ever seen. It's super forgettable. But it basically yeah, no, it's a completely forgettable movie. That particular character can spawn off screen and throw one of those turkey legs at you and hit you and kill you because there's knockback. So the movie stars Macaulay Culkin. It's actually post Home Alone Macaulay Culkin. So he's already famous by now. And Macaulay Culkin plays a very fearful kid named Richard. He walks around. Yeah, there's a lot of great things about there's a lot of great ideas in the movie, but the execution of the movie is just very, 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 very poor. But it stars a very fearful kid named Richard, and he gets made fun of for, you know, being overly cautious, and even his like own parents make fun of him for being overly cautious. He's like, why don't you just go up in this tree fort? He's like, well, if you know, there's a 75% chance that I'll get hit in the head, blah 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 blah. That I'll hit my head and get concussed and whatever. Anyway, so he gets caught up in a rainstorm, and he finds refuge in the local library. The librarian is played by Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame. That was a very dangerous jump that I just did. I should not have jumped so early. So the way the autoscrollers work is that you move way faster than the screen, and so if you have a moving platforms also move faster than the screen. And so if you don't have screen real estate, and so if like the platform you haven't moved to, you're trying to get to, hasn't spawned yet, you'll just die. It's very good. So our friend Richard here takes refuge in a library, and he slips and falls in a puddle that he's created because he got caught in a rainstorm. That is a unique sound effect in the game. The only thing that makes that sound is if you hit the parrot in the head, by the way. Very interesting. And he ends up in a cartoon. So the rest of the movie the first third of the movie is actually in live action and stars actual physical Christopher Lloyd and actual physical Macaulay Culkin and actual physical Ed Begley Jr. plays his dad, and Mel Harris plays his mom. And the rest of the movie takes place as a cartoon, and Macaulay Culkin still voice acts. And the cartoon is very well animated, but there's no content in the movie, which is my primary issue. All right, so we're done with the adventure world. We'll come back to the movie when we get to the next auto-scroller, which is sooner than you think. So we're in the fantasy world now. This is level 1, not an auto-scroller, so don't worry. We're gonna do very much like we've been doing this whole time and skip the entirety of the level. So I actually started routing 100% in this like good ending, where you get all of the library cards, and it's very bad, and you have to play, I think, 4 more auto-scrollers that I know of. And so I just stopped. So I actually don't know where the library cards are in this world at all. I just stopped trying to figure this out. I'm gonna try this jump once. Hey! Look at those speed strats. Alright. Yeah, so we're playing as Macaulay Culkin right now. Yes. So it's like animated Macaulay Culkin, but it's Macaulay Culkin. No, anyway. Yeah, this is a good color scheme, the purple. Okay, so this is the worst level in the whole game. This is the worst level in the whole game. I hate this level. This is the level that will, if I'm gonna go overestimate, this is the level that's gonna cause that to happen. Also, lives and books can both go over 9, but you just won't see it. So I have like 11 books, and I just used 1. So that's what I hit select, and then that little character died. So where were we? Yes, the movie. So now we're in Cartoon Land, and basically what happens is that we run into the adventure book, like the book of adventure. Can I kill you? I want to kill you. Wait. And the adventure book, which is our bottom little friend here, is voiced by Sir Patrick Stewart, most known for Macaulay Culkin. Known for obviously playing Captain Picard on Star Trek TNG. This is another one of the secondary upgrades here. So yeah, oh, I never explained what the secondary upgrades were. So there's Sword, which is a melee attack. There's Magic, which is this guy right here. It's just a projectile. There's Glove, which is very useless for the speedrun and also for any casual playthrough. You climb so slowly that it's not worth your time. All right, I got to the first checkpoint without dying, so we're pretty happy with that. All right, let's go. And then there is the eye projectile, which hopefully we get to show off, but is the most nonsensical thing I've ever seen in any video game, basically. That's another use of book. This guy on the right has a book that spawns, and sometimes he trolls the crap out of you. Who voiced Frank Welker voiced the horror book. Frank Welker is most known as the voice of Scooby-Doo and Fred from the Scooby-Doo. He's also the voice of Shockwave in all of the Transformers movies. So there's a lot of very famous, not just actors but voice actor. There's we missed it. And then Fantasy, which is the lady book up top there, is voiced by Whoopi Goldberg, of Whoopi Goldberg fame. You know, she's in like Ghost and Sister Act or whatever. She's in a lot of movies. She's famous. You get it. So this is It's like a bouncy projectile of which you get 5. I'm not entirely sure I understand why this exists. This guy is the only character in the whole game that does not die in 1 hit, and he dies in 4 hit. There's a lot of Star Trek. There's a lot of Star Trek people in that voice this movie. We're actually done with this stage. I actually one-shot this stage. If you guys know, I have IMDb pages up, but if y'all know who all of these people are, please let me know. It's not so. There's a lot of story about how this movie got made, and it took like 3 or 4. It took like 3 or 4 years to get made, and it was a whole kind of thing. Other Star Trek. So Mel Harris plays Richard's mom. She's not in a Star Trek movie, but she's in Stargate SG-1, which I'm calling, that's close enough. Leonard Nimoy voices Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's also in Star Trek, of course. Who else? D.B. Ward plays the Queen of Hearts. She's in Star Trek Voyager. She's the who else? I'm not gonna get to talk about all of the people who are in this run. I do want to give one quick shout out to one of the pirates is voiced by the late great Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman was of course on Saturday Night Live, but before he passed away, he was also on one of my favorite TV shows of all time by the name of News Radio. So News Radio is a very, very good sitcom in the 90s about a news radio room. It stars like Dave Foley and Maura Tierney pre-ER and Andy Dick and Joe Rogan before he became crazy and all kinds of stuff like that. And I love News Radio, so I try to mention it if at all possible. Who else? Oh, Stephen Root plays the boss. He's Milton from Office Space. Also, one of the voice actors from Space Jam is in this movie. He voices also a bunch of the pirates. He's the Monstar. He voices the Monstar that took over Larry Johnson's body. Yeah. All right, we're done. And anyway, there's a lot of other very famous people. You guys can look it up in terms of who. Oh, this might be. I need to die if I want a PB right now, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and die here. Please die. Can I die, please? Kill me! Kill me! There we go. I think I took too long. Anyway. Spin City, very good TV show too. Who else is in this movie? All right, now I don't want to die anymore. You can do it. You can kill me. It's okay. I believe in you. There we go. I really want to keep boots so I can get into this. Kill that guy. Alright, we're basically home free now. So we're just gonna grab this invincibility because we need to walk through this fire. Kill this bad boy. Spawn him. Don't die. Yeah, so that was 20 seconds. That was 20 seconds off of PB for me. I don't have a good PB in this game though, because I think I died in one of the auto-scrollers. That was good fun. That was a very good run. That was 9 minutes under estimate. Whoops. Oh yeah, and here's the bad ending because we didn't get all the library cards. We didn't get any of the library cards. So yeah, very interesting movie, very bad video game. If you're gonna play a Pagemaster video game, play the Super Nintendo one. It's actually very very interesting game. This is not an interesting game. But if you want to speedrun it, you can reach out to me or to Eamon Anthem. We both we're the only two who run this game, so yeah. So next up is Axe Battler for the Game Gear. So shout out to the Game Gear community, Game Gear speedrunning community. I love you guys. So that's coming up next.